Alright, today what I want to do is I want to take a already made website, in this case I'm going to use a website template, and turn it into a WordPress site. You know, it took me a long time to figure out how to do it because most videos and stuff I've seen were really complicated, and I was like, I'm never going to remember this stuff, but it's not that complicated once you get right down to it. So on this first video, what we're going to do is we're going to assume you have a website that you like. You like the styling of it. You already got your style sheet made. You just like the way it looks. You just want to convert it to a WordPress site. Maybe you want to be able to use the blog posting functionality of WordPress or create new pages quickly in WordPress. You know, whatever your reason is, you want to turn it into a WordPress site. We're not, in this first video, we're not going to utilize the WordPress menu system or the WordPress widgets. We're just going to assume you like your site the way it is. You just want to turn it to a WordPress site, and you want to be able to use the blog post and page functionality of WordPress, but you like everything the way it is. So in the second video, we're going to take what we make in this first video and we're going to add the functionality of the WordPress menus and widgets, but that won't be until the second video. So this first video, what you will need either a local host, local server to build a site on, or a web server on the internet to build your site on. We're not going to get into installing a server like WAMP or XAMPP to do this. I do have other videos that in my list here that I've made that will show you how to install those servers. So feel free to search. I may leave a link below. But we will set up WordPress on localhost, and we're going to use this theme here. And I'll leave a link below in the description so you can get to it if you want to follow along using the exact same theme. It's free. It's HTML5. It's responsive. And the reason why I picked this theme is it has a top menu and a sidebar. Because in the second video we're going to want to use the WordPress menu system, and we're going to want to use the widgets in the sidebar area. And we're going to widgetize sidebar and the footer. So that's why we're going to use this one, but we're going to take it as is and we're just going to turn it to a WordPress template or to a WordPress site to get us started. So assuming you have someplace you want to install WordPress on, let's get started with that. Let's go ahead and start. We'll start from downloading. We'll go ahead and download WordPress. WordPress.org. Oops. Hey, how about that? And we're going to download it. And we're going to download WordPress 4.5.2. And hopefully yours is faster than mine. I got DSL connection to the internet for this. Okay, let's go get that. That would be this one here. Let's go in here and let's unzip it. Okay, we have it unzipped. Let's go ahead and delete the zip file. Go in here, just grab all these files. I'm going to have it be in the root, so I'm going to take them out and put them right there. And just delete this one. Now we need to go to localhost and set up a database for this. So what happened? It entered the wrong place, didn't it? Going to PHP My Admin. And I've already got a database named Halix here, so I'm going to, instead of just create, well, yeah, let me go ahead and just delete it and we'll create a new one. So database Halix. Let's delete that one, or drop I should say. Would be the word in PHP My Admin to delete something. And let's go back up here and we'll create it again. As I said, I would start from the beginning. So that's what we're doing. Alright, we got Halix created. So now we need to go to the site on the server. And we're going to use the installer here. Fill this out. And the username for mine is root, no password, and we're good. We'll run the install. We'll call this Alex. We got the password here. I'm going to go throw that over here somewhere. I'll throw it right there. And I'll just create a quick username. And that should be it. We should be ready to go. Take just a minute to install. There we go. We'll go ahead and log in. I'll go ahead and save that for now. And we're going to open up, make sure everything's working. Alright, good to go. Alright, now let's go get that Alex website. Let's download it. Go to downloads. Where's it at? There it is. Take that. And we're going to go into WP content. We're going to go into themes. We're going to create us a new folder. I'm going to call mine Alex. That's the name of our theme. And we're going to unzip the template right into here. And we're going to delete this. Okay, now while we're in our theme folder, let's go ahead and create some files that I know we're going to need. We're going to need one called index.php, so we're going to save this as go into here, go into our themes. We'll call this index.php. By the way, I'm using Notepad++. It's a free, really awesome editor to do things on. You can get it at notepad++.org, I believe, and that's plus spelled out. Save this as a PHP file. And we're going to need a header PHP. And we're going to need a sidebar PHP. And we're going to need a footer PHP. Those are we're going to add a few more files later, but these are the main ones we need to get started. Okay, now we have our 3 files we're going to be working with. We need to go into our template, and we need to dissect this thing. And so encrypted, so let me unencrypt that real quick. Alright, it's unencrypted now. And we're going to go look at the files that we have here. We have a example, and we have a 1 column, that's full width. We have a 3 column, and we have have the one column full width, okay, and I think it's the text is the one that's going to give me the sidebar I want. That's the right hand sidebar. We're going to go with the left hand sidebar. So which one is that? Must be the index. There we go. Yep. Alright, so this is the one we want. We want to turn this page here into a WordPress theme. So it's actually very easy to do. First thing we need to do is we need to go into that file and dissect it. We need to chop out the header, the content, and the footer. And we'll edit with Notepad here. So I'm going to look, I'm going to say, okay, we know this is in the head. So we're going to come down here. We see head stops here. And then we got the body. And we got the container. Now, some people will stop right here, and this is what goes in the head, everything above. Me, I'm going to go ahead and come on down through the end of the header, which is the top navigation menu, which is right here. And we're going to go in head, in header. It's good to comment stuff so you can find it easily, know what you're working with, and I like to put this way out there where it's easy to spot. Alright, so that's what's going on in our header. And we see this will be the beginning of our content. Put that out there too. I mean, you don't have to comment, but it just makes it so much easier when you do. So when you start looking at the source code, you know what you're looking at real quick. Okay, and here's our couple of articles that we see on the home page. And now we're coming down to the side. And in HTML5, a sidebar would be called a side. So this is going to be in content. That out. Put that out there. And we'll go ahead with begin sidebar. That chopped, and we'll come down and find the end of it, backslash the side. We're going to end the sidebar here. Push that out. And this div, I believe that's a content div. Let's go up here and look. That's the body ID body div. So I want to note that right here because we'll need to know about that later when we start chopping things up. And body, ID body, and begin footer. Push that out. And we'll push that side out. Okay, that's the footer. Now the footer ends right here. Now, a lot of times people will include all the way down to the /HTML into the footer file. I don't do that. And the reason why I don't do that, I like to put it in an index file. That way, if I need to call different scripts for different pages or whatever, I could just add that in below the footer file, and that way I don't have a script on every page when I only need it on maybe 1 or 2 pages. So for like a lightbox script or something. So I'm going to end the footer right here, and the rest of below goes into the index file when we get there. So now that we got this chopped up, we can start pulling it out, putting it into our files. So we're going to start with the header file. Which is going to be from the very top all the way down to end header right here. That goes into the header PHP. And we'll save that. And I like to go grab the sidebar next, because there's 3 different spots we're going to do in the index. So we're going to do sidebar next, and then we're going to do footer, then we'll do the index. Everything left goes in the index. So sidebar, save that, and where am I at? And footer, we want to grab it. Let me see. Where's that? It'll be right here. There we go. Footer. Grab that. And let's go grab everything else and throw it in the index that we didn't grab before, which would be starting with beginning of the content, all the way down to the sidebar, right? That part goes in the index. And then there's another part. Let's see where we at. There we are. Be right underneath the sidebar. These 2 right here. We're going to first let's go put our tags in. Start putting our tags into. Let me see, where's my template tags at? Template tags. All right, WP head. We need to put that right before the closing of the head tag. So we'll go back to header. We'll go ahead and do that. Right before the closing of the head tag. It adds some WordPress functionality, different things such as on queuing and stuff like that. If you use Yoast SEO, it's not going to work without that in there. Always include WP head in the header right before the closing head tag. Alright, so we'll finish with that. And then the index file, we're looking here. We see that our sidebar is right there, correct? And then we have this. So what we want to do, we want to go in the index, say we're going to grab the header first. We'll put that at the very top. That's where we want to pull the header in. Oops, we're on the wrong page here. Yep, we'll put it right above the begin content. We're going to pull the header in there. And then we're going to get the sidebar. Right, we place that content all the way down to the sidebar, which is there. And now we want to pull in the sidebar. And then we want to pull in those two pieces of HTML that we didn't pull in already. And sidebar right here. Keep doing that, don't I? So we're going to come down here, pull in those two. Now we want to pull in the footer. Grab the get footer tag. Get footer, and then we want to pull in the bottom of the index page that I didn't include in the footer, just in case I want to add additional scripts on certain pages. I can put it in below the footer. So we're going to now here we're going to throw them down there. And what was the name of that one? I forgot to name that, didn't I? What was the name of that? That's ID container, so I want to name that one just so I can know if I'm ever looking quickly what it is. There we go. In container. So we got our foot, and now we got one more WordPress tag that controls some functionality, kind of like WP head does, WP footer. For one thing, it controls that admin bar. You won't be able to see your admin bar on the front end when you're logged in if you don't have this in there. So that's one thing it does control, and it does some other things too as well. So we're going to put that right before the close the body tag. Alright, now we have our website pretty much built, but we need to go into our template, and we need to grab these two folders here and pull them out, put them in here for now. And let's go take a look. Well, first we need to go turn on our themes. So our themes, let's refresh. Oh, I forgot to got the theme requires a style sheet, doesn't it? So we got to create the style sheet. So let's go ahead and create that. Style CSS. And we're going to add some little bit of information that style sheets require. Let me see. Where is it at? Style sheet header. There we go. At minimum, you need a theme name and the license URI. I believe those are the minimums required, but this is typically good to put all of this stuff in there, which is what I'm going to do. And we'll say there we go. So we should be able to see it show up now, right? There it is. So we're going to activate, and we're going to go preview. And right now, you know, there's no styles in the style sheet, so we're going to take care of that right now. But we have our pages or stuff showing up like it should without styling. So we need one more file. We'll call this functions.php, so we can on cue our style sheet. And on functions PHP, you don't need a closing PHP tag for this particular one. So you're good with just that, getting it started. So we've created our functions PHP. We need to on-queue our style sheet to our functions PHP. And we're going to do this with a function called onQueueScripts that WordPress provides. This allows us to on-queue our style sheets, on-queue our scripts, and the scripts and sheets will only be used where they're needed at. In other words, not being used on every page when they're absolutely not needed on every page. And we see in our directory we have 1, 2, 3, 4 JS files, and we have 2 CSS files. What I'm going to do is, because I don't like calling 2 CSS files when it's not necessary, is I'm going to pull this out here and go ahead and put it in the style. In the style sheet there, and then I'm going to take all that and bring it over to my theme style. Style CSS. We'll put it all right there. We'll save. Let's go ahead and on. Right now it's not on queued, so it doesn't do anything because it's not actually calling it. If you look in the source, it's trying to call, because it's a word. It's trying to call if it were an HTML website. It's trying to call it from where it would be, but because this is a WordPress site, the whole directory structure and all that's different. So what we're going to do, because WordPress knows where the style sheet's supposed to be at, if we on-queue it, we're just going to go ahead and on-queue it. And we're going to on-queue scripts too. We're going to go ahead and on-queue our scripts and grab all 4 of those, so WordPress will know where they're at. And so you see we're getting a style sheet directory, and we're getting a template directory for the JS, and then the name of the scripts. So let's go ahead and grab all this. And we can close that. And we're going to go ahead and on-queue our stuff right there. Now should have a completely different look. Alright, we have a different look. However, we see that the image background is not there, so let's see what's up with that. Let's go to the template. Where's that template at? There it is. And there's the image I'm looking for. So let's put it in there and let's refresh. And we'll see, because I already done this once, it's still not there. And the reason it's not there is going to be called wrong in the style sheet. So let's go take a look at it. I happen to know it's a body image, so let's go up to the top here, body. There it is. And if we just remove this part here, refresh, and there we go. We have now created a template, taken a website template and turned it into a WordPress site. But we want to take advantage of the loop, so we take advantage of the posting pages. So that's what we're going to do next. WordPress has something called the loop, and it's what pulls out posts and pages. It controls all that. And you could just Google the loop and you can read more about it, but I just happen to have it right here. We're going to grab the loop for index. The difference between index and single is this right here. Index is the excerpt, single is the content. Index will show your list of posts. I think it's 55 character excerpt. You can change that in your functions PHP, and we're not going to do it here. We're just going to go to the default. And the content shows the entire thing. So on our blog roll, on our index page, we don't want the entire post show, because we might have 10 posts. You just want an excerpt of it. So I'm going to grab this, And also, index, we have H2 tags instead of H1, so that way you don't have more than one H1 tag on a page. We're going to have H2 tags on our index page. So let's go ahead and close it all so I don't get mixed up here. And index PHP, and we can look and see what we're looking at here. Where's it at? Wrong one. Alright. We're seeing introduction to Hilux. There's some stuff there. A couple buttons. Right. And then another article and some more buttons. So that's the area we need to remove on our index. So let's go find that. Should be right after the content, in the content, begin the content. There we go. So just looking here, I see article. There it is, what I was looking for. Article and article. So we know what we're looking at for the first article is right in here. So what we want to do is, we don't want none of this, because we're going to rebuild this in a post or a page. And we're going to throw our loop in there. But we want our article tags to show up individually with each post. So right after this line here, have post the post, when it's looking for it, then it starts spitting out HTML. We're going to put our article there, and we're going to put our closing article right after the excerpt. Okay, and that way everything's wrapped in an article tag the way it's supposed to. Now we can see here the buttons that we have. I've already got up here a button read more thing. We're just going to remove this and give it the same class name, which is button, if you notice down here. And we're just going to get rid of this altogether. And we're going to get rid of this one altogether. And it's all, I'm going to tighten up the HTML some. Keep this all in section here. And we'll have that all enclosed in a section. So let's go ahead and save this. And you'll notice we got the permanent links marked. This is some more template tags. I'm using the title and the title attribute for your permalinks, which I don't think I need the title because of the way I got the button set up. So let's go look and see what happened here. And you'll see it's a post now. The default post that WordPress shows. Let's go look at the source. Make sure it's wrapping in the article tags correctly. This is where having all those comments lined out. See, begin content. I come down here and I see article, backslash article, and it has the H2 paragraph and all is wrapped in that article tag. And then we got to read more here, which I don't have a single page made up yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take single PHP, index PHP, and save it as single PHP. And we need to make one change here. We need to change the excerpt to the content. Save that, and let me create a longer post so we can see what's happening here. We'll add a new one. Let's go to Lorem Ipsum. Let's just grab this paragraph right here. Wow. Would you quit doing that? There we go. This is my post 2. Okay, let's publish. Go back to the home page. And you'll notice I have that post cutting off with the excerpt after about 55 characters or so, and then I got the one underneath it. So now we have our blog roll working right. And I could click on this, and it's going to take me to single PHP. That's what it's finding right there for the entire post. Now, we want to be able to take advantage of pages, but we want them to be different than the posts. So what we're going to do is we're going to take single PHP, and we're going to save it as page PHP, and this is the one that's going to control your pages. That way you can do so. If you need to do anything special on your pages, you can do that. And we'll see, we got it. Alright, we want, for page, we want it to be H1s. For the title, it's the title that you put in the title bar when you write a page or post. So let's go here and let me show you, because we still have H2 in our single PHP. We need to change that. But let me show you what happens here. Let's add a page. Well, actually, we don't need to add a page. We can just go view a page. It's already here, this one. So quick view. And there's our page. Now, I like the inspector in Chrome better than I do the one in Explorer. So you'll notice if we inspect that, it is wrapped in an H1, right? However, when we go to our home page, this should be an H2, right? So we changed them to H2s, and it is. But we didn't change single PHP to an H2, H1. I think we left it as H2, which we did. You'll notice there. So we're going to go in here. And the reason why I showed you that, I just wanted to show you how WordPress knows which template to pull without you telling it to do anything. It's just going by the name that you named it. Single PHP, index, page PHP. And you can do different things. You create different looks, you know, add extra stuff when you do it that way. But let's go into single PHP. And let's go ahead and change these to H1. And save. And go back and refresh. Right, we're on single here. Yep. We're on the single PHP here. And you'll notice it changed. And it changed to H1. So you've seen us add a page. That worked. You've seen us add a post. That worked. Everything else is as pulling your own styles, the stuff you originally set up. Of course, we need to, like we click here, it's going to go to 404. So we run into the menu real quick in the header. And oh, something else I need to show you too. But we're going to fix this menu real quick. So index.html does not exist. So what does exist is Alex. So let's save that. Let's refresh. And that should take me to the home page, right? Yep, took me to the home page. Alright, I wanted to show you one more thing. Let's view the source. And you see these things here? Those are hard coded in. But if you look at the console, when you're inspecting the element, let's get back on the right page here. You'll see those failed. All those failed. We need to take out the hard-coded ones in the header. Take out that. And take out that. And if you remember, we unqueued them with WordPress, so it should still be working, right? So let's take a look, see if it's working. Yep, everything looks about the same. We inspect. I'm not sure what's calling index HTML. Oh yeah, we're on a bad page. Let's go home here. There we go. We're on a 404 page. Alright, we inspect here. Notice no more errors in the console. But if we view source, because we unqueued this stuff, you'll find, you'll see our style CSS is being called. Our jQuery is being called, our slider JS is being called, superfish is being called, custom JS is being called. That's because we unqueued our scripts and it's being called where it's necessary to be called at. And of course, you see that having WP head does some other things like this right here, and WP footer pulls in this embed, and it helps you to be able to see your admin bar when you're logged in. Let me see, I'm logged in, right? Where am I logged in at? I'm logged in here, right? And I'm seeing my admin bar here. You got control, you got customizer here you can use. Now we didn't you don't see menus here, you don't see widgets here because we didn't widgetize no areas. We didn't add the WordPress menu. We're going to do that in the next video. But what you've seen here was really the simple, easy way to turn your website into a WordPress theme. Really simple, not that difficult. If you like this, how about give me a like, comment, thumbs up, something. I would appreciate it. Visit pluginforge.com for really cheap, really good WooCommerce plugins. And you have a good day.